What's up, Facebook? This is Robbie.
I'm Will.
We're Blue Haven Firearms, and we are live.
Of course they know it's Blue Haven Firearms.
Well, I know, but you never know.
We're on our Facebook, and he says our Facebook. Whatever.
Hey
on
guys.
to our discussion.
So today we're going to be talking about open carry versus concealed carrying, pros and cons of both, and just our general opinions on both. And as always, like I just kind of stated, this is nothing but our opinions. Again, we've been doing this for a little while, but take it for what it is, a grain of salt.
And let us know what you think in the comments. If you don't want to tell us what you do, then that's totally great. But if you want to voice your opinion on this, go ahead and shoot us a comment on while we're doing this.
And on that subject, if you guys have opinions on our next video, go ahead and leave it in the comments as well. So that being said, let's get started.
And action! Should you open carry or conceal carry? Which one, Robbie?
Honestly, I think there's a time and a place for both. I personally prefer to conceal carry most of the time.
As do I.
But like I said, I have open carried, and I think there is a time and a place to open carry. But
we'll tell you this: when I first started carrying, back when I was first turned 21, I open carried pretty much all the time.
Yeah, I remember.
And it gives you a certain sense of...
You're a lot more alert, I feel
Yeah,
like.
you are very alert because you feel more exposed. That's the word I was looking for, exposed, because you know what's on your hip. Now, you would be unbelievably surprised at how unobservant people are and how much they do not notice on your body. When I was open carrying regularly, I had maybe, out of the year I did it, I had maybe 2 people say, hey, I like what you're doing, I like that gun, or something along those comments. Just because people don't notice. And if they do notice, they're, lack of a better word, but they're scared to say anything because, oh, that guy's got a gun, But, of course, that's just from their perspective, and they don't know anything else. So,
I would say that for me, 90-95% of the time, I am concealed carrying. Exceptions being at the shop, of course, I open carry. And if I've been at the shop, sometimes if I just have to go to the hardware store to get a few parts, sometimes I will just leave it open carrying. And like you said, though, it really does make you so aware of everything around you. You're thinking, how many people are around me? Could anybody get to my gun if they wanted to? And you're thinking, you're watching everything so much more. And I feel like you're more on edge.
Which is, there's a bad and a good of that.
Yeah.
If you're alert, then that's good. But if you're on the edge, then it could get to you after a while,
right.
And it just kind of wears down your nerves. But yeah, so
let's try to move on. Let's do some pros and cons.
Okay, why don't you do pros of open, and I'll do cons of open.
Okay. So pro of open carrying is easy access. You don't have to move any clothing away from your firearm to get to it. So I'd call that a pro.
Okay. So a con would be you're exposed.
Okay.
You've got your weapon open. Hopefully you have a good holster, so nobody can just randomly grab it off your hip. That's why police officers carry certain holsters on them, because they can get it to it easily, but someone else can't get it to it easily.
Right. So, what do you guys think? Let us know. We're going to continue on this discussion, but if
we have anybody watching right now, it's all right.
That's okay. So, let's see. Another pro of open carrying, to reiterate what you said, is that you are aware of everything around you, because you know that there's a possibility that people are going to see, that you have a weapon on you. So,
right.
What you got?
What am I doing? Con of open?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Program, man.
Hey, I'm paying attention to the road here. Con, let's see. You're exposed. I guess it's just the edginess.
Okay.
It makes you super over alert, I guess you'd say. Just on edge.
I feel you. Okay, so how about you? Have a pro now? Anything you can think of?
Of open?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to talk to you. I mean,
I guess if you're antisocial.
yeah, if you're antisocial, no one's going to talk to you if you got a weapon on your side, unless they're a fellow firearms enthusiast.
So I got a con, I guess, and this is if you're open carrying, you're probably, if something were to happen, you know, and by that I mean, let's say you're in a grocery store or a restaurant and somebody pulls a weapon to do something, you know, they are trying to do harm to somebody. If you're open carrying, you're probably going to make yourself a target, unfortunately. So I think that would probably be a con.
Okay,
for sure.
yeah. But yeah,
at the same time,
there's a pro with that because
you know, if I don't know about anybody else, if I'm going into a store and I'm gonna rob this store, and I walk in and I see somebody with a gun on their hip, I might be like, you know what?
It would be the equivalent of, you know, walking in and seeing a police officer because they've got a firearm on their side.
Yeah, so you might think twice and be like, you know, maybe I shouldn't do that.
Right.
So I don't know. You got anything else for open? All right, let's move on to concealed carry. So concealed carry. You want to do pros this time?
Sure. All right. So pro, nobody can see it if you're doing it right. That's why we highly suggest that you wear clothes in our classes, that you wear clothes that fit your weapon. They constantly tell you in training that you wear to your weapon, not you conform to your weapon, not the weapon conform to you, because you want to conceal that weapon. Both of us, all three of us at the shop, carry full-size handguns. We can conceal them because of the clothing we wear, and the holsters we wear, and how we wear them, where we wear them on our body, things like that. So with concealed, it's easily hideable.
So I think a con of concealment, and it's not necessarily a con, but it can be to a beginner carrier, and that would be the fact that, you know, when you first put that gun on your hip, it's hard to get used to. It's uncomfortable for a little while until you kind of figure out how you like to carry it.
And that goes both ways with concealed and open.
That's true.
Honestly.
That's true. And I feel like too, people, you know, especially concealed carriers, you know it's there way more than anybody else. And the fact that you keep adjusting it, which only ends up drawing attention to yourself. But most people, like you said, just don't pay attention. You might think, oh man, I am so obviously carrying this weapon even though it's concealed and no one else has a clue.
Right. Not even a little.
So, okay, any more pros for concealed carry?
Pros. Well, I mean, it's kind of a pro. You can carry anything you like, really. You can carry as small as a little Derringer in your pocket,
right,
to a full-size 45 caliber double-stack magazine pistol, right, and it doesn't matter. As long, like I said earlier, as long as you wear it correctly, then you have nothing to worry about, really. There's a reason why there's classes on being observant, because people aren't. So,
unfortunately,
yeah, I'd say a pro there is anything, you can wear anything you like.
I don't honestly think there's a whole lot of cons to concealed carry, other than comfort.
Well, to go back to earlier, what you were saying with open carry, easy access. Yeah. With concealed, a con is it's not so easy access.
That's true. It does take a little bit of practice to be able to remove that.
A lot more training.
Yeah, that clothing from that weapon.
There's something we always say in our classes: you are what you train. If you want to act one way in a real life situation, then that's how you should train at the range. If you train one way at the range, but you expect yourself to act differently in a real life situation, that doesn't work.
And you're fooling yourself.
Your body reverts back to muscle memory, and it goes back to your training. So whatever way you train is how it's going to react. And so that's why a lot of people, it's all about preference and opinion, but a lot of people don't like carrying Glocks or M&Ps that don't have a thumb safety or anything like that, because they feel that they could, shoot themselves or whatever. But it's all about training. And so
to add on to that, a little bit, I carried a Glock since this is the only gun I really ever carry. But what do people think whenever they hear appendix carry, which is what I've been doing lately? you know, you're
blowing a hole in your leg that where you shouldn't need to be. You know,
so
you get my meaning there.
Read between the lines. That is what a lot of people will think of. You know, I'm going to shoot myself. So, but again, you are what you train, and you practice to the point where that weapon just becomes an extension of you.
Right. I mean, that's why you train at home with dummy rounds. You train with no rounds at home. You just practice taking it in and out of the holster. That's what all three of us at the shop have done over the years, is to get used to concealed carry. Is you just train. You train at home. You train without any bullets in the weapon, and you just train taking it out of your holster quickly and safely and proficiently. I thought another con of conceal. Okay. If you don't train, you could, while reholstering your weapon, you could get your shirt caught in the holster.
Right.
And then it is again reverts back to training.
And on the same thing, you know, concealed, or this is actually for both. And this is, again, we kind of went from concealed carry, open carry, but we're also talking about a lot of training stuff here too. You know, there's tons of...
it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, they do.
Honestly, I mean,
there's tons of examples out there, videos of people that made stupid mistakes. One that's been circulating around the internet for a long time is a guy went to pull his weapon with one hand and to fire 3 rounds with it's called a one-handed tactical stance. And he ended up, as soon as he grabbed his weapon, he accidentally put his finger on the trigger and squeezed a round into his leg. And, you know, he said some choice words in there too, but it's a great example. Yeah, it's a great example of what not to do. And he was actually open carrying, so he didn't have the excuse of, you know, too much going on. But,
right.
All right. Well, I feel like we touched a lot of good pros and cons.
Yeah.
Maybe hit a few stereotypes of carrying a weapon. Right. So, first thing that comes to mind when I think of stereotypes for open carrying would be, you know, the Wild West. People think that if you open carry, that you want to be a cowboy, and everybody's going to have a gun on their head. You know.
Right.
I think that's false.
Again, is how observant people are. You would not believe how many people in this state, just this state alone, have their concealed carry license and carry on them daily. In the last 2 or 3 years, the numbers have skyrocketed. Yeah.
I mean, we're up every year.
Just because of all sorts of things that's happening in the world.
Yeah.
But hundreds. I mean, an average, you know, you walk into an average Walmart in Oklahoma City, you know, I'd say probably about 100 of the people in there are carrying.
Yep.
And it's just what it is. And you can accept it or not. But, you know, it's up to you.
So, let's see, more stereotypes.
Another stereotype is you're showing off. With open carry, you're showing off. Hey, you know, showboating. Hey, look at me. I've got a gun. I'm cool. Things like that.
Right.
That's a person you should not be. It's not a good idea to be that cocky guy.
I think another thing that comes to mind, and this is mainly for people that don't believe in carrying at all, and I don't feel like
if you don't feel like that way, then that's your choice.
Right. But, and you know, I think a lot of people that don't like weapons and don't like carrying would think that, you know, you're always scared, and I don't feel like that's the case. I don't think that me putting a gun on every day means I'm scared. I think it means I'd rather be prepared.
Right.
You know,
it's preparedness.
I'd rather have the weapon and not need it than ever need it and not have it. You know, I honestly hope I never have to use it.
Here's the thing, in favor of carrying every day. To stop violence, you have to meet it with violence.
Right.
You can't, if someone is attacking you or your family member or something and they have a weapon of whatever, could be a club, could be a knife, could be a gun, you have to meet that violence with violence in order to stop it.
Reasoning will not always.
No, it doesn't. There's people that just have it in their head that they're going to harm you no matter what. Either because they're on drugs, their personality, something's mentally wrong with them. Just one of those many options there are in the world.
Right.
But you have to meet that with whatever force possible to stop the threat.
Right.
As we said in our last video, you got to stop that threat. So...
And on top of that, just kind of playing devil's advocate. I actually agree with you 100%. But devil's advocate, and that is like, I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about now? I'm sorry.
Stopping violence with violence.
Oh, okay, yeah. devil's advocate on that would be, people that are committing crimes and they have that weapon. There are people that use that to their advantage, and they use that threat as just a threat.
It's true.
I've got a gun. I don't ever plan on using this,
right.
but so there's kind of both ends of the spectrum you got to think about. That being said,
but if you
pull
have
a gun on me, you're kind of bought and paid for.
If you have it on your I mean, if you have it in your mind, even if you have it on you and you just say, I'm gonna hurt you if you don't do this or whatever, and you still have it on you, that means you put thought into it. That person put thought into it farther beyond what you think.
And that, ladies and gentlemen,
yeah, that's what ends it right there. So, any other stereotypes?
I'm trying to think. These are the main ones that I can think of at the time.
And we're talking about, just carrying a gun in general, really. Well, there's this other side that, if you're scared or whatever, or being prepared, there's this other side that you're one of those, you could have the stereotype of you're one of those that prep. Prep for the apocalypse or whatever.
Right. Hey man, when zombies attack.
This guy's been saying zombies for the past 8 years. Whatever, he's stopping about it. Woo, that was close. That's why you use your turn signals, kids. But yeah, so if you're overly prepared and you've got 20 million guns in your house, stored away somewhere.
AR-15 strapped to the roof.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we don't have
really cool.
We don't have one in the trunk at all or anything, so we don't. But that's one of them. I think
that's the main ones. I can't really. I've been trying to think while you're talking, but.
Well, I guess we're good then.
Yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit us up with some comments. I want to know your opinions, even if you. And again, we understand if you don't want the whole world knowing how you carry, or even if you carry.
Yeah, we
get that. But just kind of hit us up. Let us know what you think. Again, I think there is a time and a place for both. I prefer concealment myself. So
the next video we're gonna do is how many magazines you should carry on you, how much ammo, and what kind of defense ammo you should choose.
Roll that into one video.
Yeah, we're gonna roll it. Or I think we're gonna do it at the shop so we can demonstrate.
Okay.
And there are literally probably not pretty close. I'd say like 50 or so different kinds of defense ammo you can choose. Good defense ammo that you can choose from. So there's just not just one. And so we're gonna go over them next week and see what you guys think. In the meantime, please, if you got any ideas for future videos, shoot us in the comments. Just let us know, or send us a Facebook message. Say, hey, I'd like you to do this, whatever topic, whatever you'd like to choose. All right, guys, that's it for us. I'm Will.
And I'm Robbie.
And we'll catch you later.
Have a good week and always be safe.
Cheers.
Peace.